Hi guys, so in this video I want to talk about a topic that I've been thinking of a lot, which is related to this man over here, which is perfectionism. There are two kinds of people in the world. One who seek perfectionism and one who just get the job done. There are only two kinds of people. If you're going to complete a task, either you complete it at most perfectionism or you just submit it. And this man over here, all three of these guys are perfectionists. And you know what you can learn from that? Your boy is kind of a perfectionist. But in this video, I'm gonna say perfectionism is good. Absolutely not. It's an absolute bad trait to have any day of the week. This thing called Pareto's principle, which is that 80% of the job is dependent on 20% of the 80% of the results are dependent on the 20% of work, which means only 20% of the workforce is contributing to 80% of the output. This is the general idea of Pareto's principle. But you know what works against Pareto's principle, which is the most insane golden principle on planet Earth? Perfectionism. When you're a perfectionist or when a team is a perfectionism based team, you guys cannot produce products that follow the Pareto's principle. Once a product follows Pareto's principle, it starts bringing that 80% output. So the rest 20% you can start perfecting. But you know what most perfectionists do? Even this man over here, Steve, is guilty of it. He built a lot of products that were so perfect on paper, but nobody bought it because in real world, they're pretty much useless. They were great hardware, they were great computers, but they just did not work. And that scenario applies to a lot of things in the real world right now. When your team ships products that are only perfect, you'll be outpaced by competition because they are like deploying a product every other weekend, every other weekday, whatever they're doing, they're just releasing constantly and trying for volume to negate luck. That's the best principle that will work with Pareto's principle. You need to identify 80% of the output that is being coming from only the 20% of work. What is the 20% of the work that you can master? Once you master that, then think about how can I do this 20% in volume. And once you have reached that 80% mark, then you can start looking towards perfectionism. But if you start at perfectionism, there's this problem where you are always trying to make the best thing, but there is no end to it. I was reading about algorithms the other day for my exam, design and analysis of algorithm, and there's a very important line that says the properties of an algorithm. An algorithm needs to be definite, it needs to have an end. In the same way, for you to have measurable work is very, very important. If you're chasing the word perfect, what are you benchmarking against? Then you have a number to go for, which is better than just shooting in the dark. But any day, it is not suggested to be perfect, to just be better than the competition thing. Do the 20% of features that 80% of people want. And if it works, then think about the rest. And that is how I would want you guys to see perfectionism. That's how I perceive perfectionism these days. I'm not gonna say I'm like completely away from this. No, I'm still the same guy who seeks perfectionism, who like procrastinates or does not complete a lot of work because he focused on perfectionism. But what I would say is that I'm getting better and I'm getting better at applying the Pareto's principle. So I'll make a video on Pareto's principle too. So but thanks for watching this video. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Peace out.